Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX Simulator, where today we're going to be previewing the 2023 Indianapolis Supercross Round 9 of Monster Energy AMA Supercross coming up this weekend inside of Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Checking out the track a little bit here, kind of talking about what the track looks like, what it feels like, how it might race like, and what we think is going to happen this weekend at the 9th round of Monster Energy Supercross. So, first off, let's just talk about the track a little bit. It's a pretty standard-ish layout track. It's got the, what I would call the end zone start, but it's not really an end zone start because it's not in the end zone of what would be the football field, but it's basically, one side of a football field to the other sideways, not lengthwise. So it's a very short start because of that. It's usually only... you'd be lucky to shift, probably not get a shift off of the start. So you start in second, maybe third gear, and just go straight into the first turn off of it. So pretty short start into a left-hand 90 usually creates, kind of a bottleneck off the start as well, where you don't have like a super close start either, and you usually get like one or two like breakaway guys. But then after that, you have this first rhythm section where it's a little double, step on, step off, triple. I think there might end up being a couple different options in that based on how the track builders build the track this weekend versus how we have it in MX Simulator, obviously. But then after that, you have 7 singles in a row, which in this game you can go triple quad, but maybe it ends up being double, triple, double or something like that. Pretty long whoop section, probably about 12, 13 whoops right there. Step on, step off at this side of the end zone. Pretty slippery traction this week for the Race Factor race as well. A double into a Supercross triple right here. So pretty standard there. And then this section, it might be a triple. It might end up being like a double, triple, single. Again, depends on how they build it. And then you have like this little like split lane triple versus roll double option to the finish line jump. And then just like the other end zone, you have a step on, step off right here as well. So 2 step on, step offs in 90-degree corners following them, both left-hand corners, obviously. And then right back into the first turn complex. So, like I said, it's not necessarily like a really dramatically awesome track or anything like that. I feel like this is a pretty standard-ish layout. Like, I feel like we've probably actually seen this almost exact layout before. But it is a unique track enough that it offers a couple different interesting sections where you have like maybe, a drive in the whoop section down the inside here, and then someone's trying to step on and off the table, but they don't have the right angle because someone's coming down the inside to make a block pass. And then you have, 4 180 bull corners, and each of the bull corners follow with an opposite turn basically right after it. So like, for example, what I mean by that is you have a left 180 bull corner right here after the Supercross triple, and then right after it, after you come out of this corner, is a right 180 bull corner, and then a left 90 after that one. So the bull corners are kind of perfectly, in my opinion, designed to set up the opportunity to set up someone for a pass, because you're always going to end up on either the outside or the inside depending on what angle you have. So I like that option, and it's the same thing for this one, right? Like you have a left 90 into a left 180, a right 180, and then a left 90 again. So it's almost like a symmetrical track in that regard as well, where you have those step-on, step-offs at both end zones, and then you have some rhythm sections or some whoops or the Supercross triple or whatever mixed in there, but you basically have left, right, left, left, right, left, in some shape or form to be able to set up passes. So I actually think that in terms of a racetrack, this track might actually race pretty good because of that. Indy does tend to break down a little bit. The dirt is a little bit softer there. Last year, it didn't really break down as much until the 450 main event, but the 450 main event, by the end of it, like Eli Tomac on the last lap of the main event at Indy last year missed a big double across the start because the ruts were so deep and he got a little bit sketchy. So it does break down enough that it's going to probably play a little bit of a factor in how the track races and how it maybe looks and feels as well. But in terms of a racetrack, I think it's actually a pretty good racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see, how it breaks down, how the guys attack it, how they feel on it, and whether there's different options. Like maybe jumping over the start right here becomes an option. Then you double this and then quad double. Like maybe that's something that those guys end up doing. It's very similar kind of look to what Eli Tomac was doing back at Dallas with that double over the start kind of thing as a potential. And then again, it just kind of depends on what options are available. Like, is there triple in options? Is there double in options? Is there a quad somewhere that maybe is a difference maker? Like, it all just kind of depends on how the track breaks down and what these guys are able to do. So it'll be fun to to see them dissect this track because I expect it to be a pretty simple track in one regard, but also fast, which makes it maybe a little bit more challenging. Yeah, looking forward to how it's going to be this weekend. I am going to Indianapolis. It is my birthday weekend coming up, so my wife is coming with me to Indianapolis as well. So I'll be on the floor a lot Friday and on Saturday as well, and covering the race for racetracksonline.com, so you can follow us over there. Yeah, I'll try to provide as much synopsis from the floor as I can on my social accounts this weekend as well on racetracksonline.com. Let's talk about coming into this weekend, the way that the championship picture is lined up. Obviously, the 450 class, Tomac coming off of the win ahead of Cooper Webb at Daytona. So now he holds a 5-point advantage in the championship. I would say that Indy, to me, is more of a Cooper Webb style track because it's got, some soft dirt that you can cut down in pretty well. And it's also a football stadium similar to like Arlington and some other ones that Coop has been really good at in the past as well. But Eli did win here last year, so I think that you could say that this is an Eli track as well. Chase Sexton, 10 points down in the championship, was really, really fast at Daytona again, but again seemed to struggle at the midpoint of the race, got involved in a couple situations there with Justin Barcia and stuff like that. So, it'll be interesting to see if Sexton can finally click off one of these dang wins and get himself like right in the middle of the championship picture again. Because if he loses again this weekend, he's already double-digit out with 10 points out. Like if he loses again, then we've moved into the second half of the season with him having a bit of a hill to climb, I feel like, almost to get back right into the thick of it. So for me, just like personally speaking, it would be really nice to see Sexton be on the money this weekend. And hopefully we still have a good battle, but I would like to see probably Chase win. But I think if I had to pick, I would probably pick Webb to win this weekend. It just feels like a very Webb-y track. But Tomac is also pretty good. I think I'm kind of at the point too where that's my guys. I think Sexton, Webb, or Tomac win pretty much all the races from here on out, which is pretty gnarly because then that means we only have 3 winners in 2023, even though it feels really close with everybody else. But I just haven't seen Anderson or even Barcia last week at Daytona. I haven't seen them show me definitively that they have the goods to get it done over, a full 20-minute main event over those 3, just to be straight up. So, I think I would probably go with those 3 moving forward. Interesting to see how the championship picture looks after this weekend because it's still, in my opinion, close, but it has the potential to either break wide open or maybe tighten back up again. So we'll have to see how it shakes down in Indianapolis. 250 class action. Hunter Lawrence, 3 wins in the first 4 rounds. Just got into it with Nate Thrasher. I think the big storyline based on what happened at Daytona is Thrasher going to retaliate? And if so, what is it going to look like and how might it impact Hunter Lawrence? And again, some people are saying like, oh, it wasn't even that big of a deal. Hunter just, gently nudged him onto the ground. And that's fine, except for the fact that he did it on the first lap of the race and he did it to probably his closest championship rival, and it really impacted Thrasher's night and all that stuff like that as well. So I think that, I don't know, if you're Hunter Lawrence, you got to expect something's coming. And if you're Nate Thrasher, you're probably not too stoked about your situation now being 29 points down the championship. And with one foul swoop of his front tire, you could maybe turn the tides a little bit back in your favor. So very curious to see if that is on the cards this weekend or not. I think that's kind of the big storyline in the 250 class. Lawrence has been really good. I'm kind of waiting to see if Anstey has the ability to just go a little bit faster in main event pace to run with Lawrence on a consistent basis. Because right now it seems like Lawrence has like his number and is more marking him in the main events than trying to get away from him. But I think it'll be interesting to see if like Anstey starts in front of Lawrence, if he can keep him behind him, and then what does that do to the title fight as well if Max gets a win, because suddenly he's only 14 points down right now. If Lawrence finishes second and Max wins, it would be 11, and then you're like, well, Max has the confidence now, maybe he can parlay this into more winning and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Lawrence has been so good. I just feel like it's his title to lose already at this point, which sounds weird being 4 rounds in, but he's just looked really good. Another thing to think about with this East Championship, though, is it is 1 round longer than West. It is 10 rounds versus 9, so we're not even yet at the halfway point. Like Indy will be its halfway point as well for 250 East. But I don't know that really impacts anything or changes anything. I think that we've kind of already seen where the power rankings are and where these guys are established and what we can kind of expect to see out of this 250 class. And yeah, I think Hunter Lawrence is that dude right now. But yeah, maybe Deegan gets up in there and battles for a win. He looked great at Daytona. He was a little bit off the pace of Anstey and Lawrence out front, but otherwise he was pretty much better than everybody else, maybe aside from his teammate Thrasher. If Thrasher could have started up there, I think he probably finishes ahead of Deegan, but man, Deegan's looks solid. Maybe he gets in the mix. I'm going to say for this weekend, I'll pick Thrasher to win the 250 class just because he's going to be pissed off and needs it. But the ACL injury, like, I don't know how much it's like, it might just be one of those weekends for him coming up where the ACL hurts too much and he's not going to be as comfortable pushing it or something like that after a crash or whatever. I don't know. Like, yeah. It could be hit or miss, I feel like, with Thrasher a little bit. So anyway, my picks are Webb and Thrasher coming into this weekend, trying to be a little bit different, having a bit of a different flavor going into Indianapolis. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you have someone else other than what I said winning, or someone else other than any of the people that I said could win getting in the mix as well to battle for a win? Going to be a fun weekend to watch some racing. If you're in Indianapolis, please be sure to let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, whatever it is. Always happy to meet up with the people who support the channel here on SYS and chat some moto with you guys no matter what time of day it is. Always a good time to try to catch up and make it happen. So yeah, that's my synopsis. That is a track preview for the 2023 Indianapolis Supercross here in MX Simulator. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. So long for now.